So give us an idea what you project the rotation to be in your D-line, rundowns, pass downs. What does it look like at this point?
Really hard to say. Right now, we know, the four guys that we have with our first unit, we can't say starters right now because it's May, but the guys with our first unit, include Mario, Antonio, Amobi, and Sean Cody. And, as we move to third down and whatnot, we're going to bring Connor Barwin on the field, take Sean Cody off, move Antonio inside, and so have Amobi there. We'll also, be bringing some other kids in, get some things done, i.e. Earl Mitchell, who we believe can bring some push. We like Tim Bowman and the things he does. Frank Oakham is starting to show his face, around this camp. So, we got a lot of options. We're kind of happy with those options, and we're just continually trying to get better.
Connor Barwin, his last year at Cincinnati, had a dozen sacks. Do you think he's got double-digit sack potential in him on this level?
I think so. He's a tremendous athlete. We still consider that he played tight end for 3 years at Cincinnati, and last year was just his second year playing defensive end, and I think he had 5 sacks or whatever this, last year. So we expect more from him this year. We think the athlete will take over. He's learning the football, and we think he's going to be a big-time impact player for us.
Anybody else right here in the gray shirt, sir?
Yes, Coach, what about safety other than Pollard? What's your feeling? How comfortable are you?
Well, we're comfortable where we are. We have Eugene Wilson, who started, for us last year, has started in the past. He's more of a middle of the field ball hawking guy that can really, go and attack the football. We have Eugene in the box. Dominic Barber did a tremendous job, filling in for Eugene last year when he was injured. And we have another kid that's coming along in Troy Nolan that we feel real good about. So, we're comfortable with the safeties. Again, we just got to keep working with those guys, keep pushing them forward, keep getting those guys to learn all the situations and really just become mature players in our defense.
What are the factors in the equation that's resulted in Fred Bennett falling down the depth chart so much? I know a lot of people want to know about Fred because he showed so well. He really looked like a player on the come his first couple of years in the league. Actually had a couple of starts last year, but then wound up with a half dozen games inactive at the end of the season. What's going on there?
Right now, Fred's just in the rotation and fighting his tail off to be a part of our football team. He's done a tremendous job of actually he's done some good things for us. As far as last year is concerned, we had some kids that, quite frankly, that came on strong and started to play better football. And in this business, you got to play the guys that are getting the job done. I mean, there's no time for favorites. There's no time to take on sides and whatnot. If a kid is playing better, you got to play him. And there were just some kids that were doing the job a little bit better than Fred. He kept his mouth shut and stayed positive with the situation. But, this year he's competing at a higher level, and, hopefully things will work out for him. My first plan is to try to get about 13 guys on the field when we play. I'm going to need them. There are several things. That's one of the teams we study. We study them a lot because we understand that is kind of a nemesis around this building. But we've got several things in place. We learned a lot of lessons last year. We've got to go and build upon the things that we've done in the past that were successful against those guys, and then create a little something new here or there to show him something that he probably hadn't seen before. And then we got to learn how to hang on. We've always played those guys tough. We've gone right down to the wire with them several times, and we got to be mature enough to hang on and get it done this year.
Right here in the blue jersey.
Good night, Coach. Do the players realize how important it is for them to beat the Cowgirls twice?
I think they understand it. We played Dallas in the preseason, and then we come right back and play them 3 weeks later, I think it is. And yeah, there are some bragging rights involved, and I think they understand that.
What about takeaways? I know it's not something that you can coach, or maybe you can, but what are your thoughts on takeaways and getting that number up? What can you do about that?
Boy, we're working drills right now as we speak, in our OTAs and our practices, because we understand that makes a difference in football games. And if we're going to be a good defense, we got to take that ball away. We're preaching, getting your head on the ball, ripping the ball out, getting interceptions, don't blow opportunities. We are preaching all the things that tell us to go and attack the football and get the ball out, because we understand that makes a good defense, turnovers.
I know you've said since you got the gig that being aggressive is a big part of the game plan. How aggressive would you characterize this defense compared to some of the other more aggressive defenses in the NFL? Do you feel like you guys roll the dice as much as anybody out there?
You know, we never like to, term it as rolling the dice, because there's an air of, we throw caution to the wind and we just go. We're very, very careful about, our pressures, and we try to make sure it's sound. But yeah, we get after people. We felt like we got that going last year after a couple of weeks, and we feel like we're going to be even more aggressive this year. And sometimes aggressiveness is not a blitz. It's just getting your players to go extremely hard and go get after somebody's tail. And so we want to be aggressive that way. If I have to call pressures to get the guys going, to get the juices flowing, then I'll do that. And, quite frankly, I like to go get after people. So we want our edge guys to step up and challenge receivers. We want Mario and those guys getting up the field, getting after people. And we want our linebackers flying around and hitting people.
Is it fun to be the play caller, or is that not a word you would use?
Oh, it depends. It depends on what Sunday it is. Sometimes it's fun. I can, reflect back on some games last year when, it seemed like everything worked, and then there's some other games when no matter what you call, they seem to have your number. So it's nerve-wracking, but I wouldn't rather do anything. Basic fundamental defensive package is going to be very similar to what Monty Kiffin and Tony Dungy, those guys did in Tampa. But from there, I take pieces from everywhere and try to create an aggressive style, especially on third down, to make sure we go get after the quarterback. We got to be better tacklers. We got to learn how to go get people on the ground. We're working on it every day. But our plan is simple. We're going to load the box up. We're going to bring Bernard Pollard down, or bring Eugene Wilson down in the box, load the box up, and we're going to force people to throw the football. We got to be able to step up and stop one phase or be good at something. So we're going to try to stop the running game first.
Asking about Amobi Okoye, came into the league at 19.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on how he's progressed and where he needs to go?
Amobi came in, like you said, at 19, and quite frankly, did a banged-up job for us his first year. We were somewhat surprised at the level he played his first year, because he was 19 and he's dealing with grown men. He kind of fell off a little bit the second season, in the sense of he wasn't able to have the production that he had before. But last year he started out slow, and then all of a sudden he became consistent. More than anything, there was not a lot of splash plays or flashy plays, but he played consistent. He was a guy that put pressure on the quarterback that would cost you in a meeting room.